Hey, what's going on, guys? So Frame Arms Month continues here, and for Frame Arms Month, we're not only just going to review some Frame Arms kits, we're going to actually paint one. So this is one that I've already reviewed here. This is the Cutlass, and it's maybe looking a little bit weird now because I've already gone ahead and done all the sanding on it, getting it all prepped for painting, but it's not totally ready for painting because what good is a Frame Arms kit if you're not going to customize it? They're made for customizing, so we gotta customize this a little bit. So I've been rummaging through all the different Frame Arms stuff that I have here, trying to figure out what do I want to do with this, because there's a lot of different ways that you could go. So I think I'm gonna go with this here. This is the Extend Arms 02 for Baselard. So the Cutlass, obviously just a variation of the Baselard, so this stuff will all work with this. Now I'm not going to use all of this stuff. I do have a specific plan. I've not done an actual review on this product. If you guys would like to see a review just specifically dedicated to this Extend Arms set, then maybe let me know and I can do that for you guys. But basically, it's just a set of stuff here that you can attach onto the Baselard in different ways. So you can attach all this stuff around onto here. It's got a new part for the chest, new part for the head, and these parts that attach onto the legs and then onto the shoulders and onto the side skirts. Or you can make them as just these two big giant shields like that. So you've got some different options there that you can make with that. So those big shields are actually pretty cool. I actually quite like those, but that's not what we're gonna do with these. Here's the illustration there, so you can see that a little bit better. The new parts there on the front of the crotch, the front of the chest, the head, and then like I said, the other extended parts. But what I wanna do with this design here, I like the legs just as they are, and I don't really want to use the parts on the lower leg to bulk out the lower legs like that, but I do want to use these kind of thruster binder kind of parts there on the top half of the body. So basically, I want to include these parts here on the shoulders, on the side skirts, and then probably this part here for the chest as well, and maybe not the head. I'm still on the fence about that, but I don't think I want to use those head parts. What I am thinking I do want to use, though, is just the original Baselard V-fin, which is just an extra part here for the Cutlass. So it's not, or I guess not V-fin, but it's this part for the head. So where the Cutlass just has this one antenna here on the side, this will give it just the fins on the top, on the two sides of the head. So I think I'm just going to use that. And so yeah, it'll still have like the sleek, thinner legs without bulking those out at all, and then we'll just bulk out the top half so he looks like he's like meant for like super high speed. And the other thing of the leftover parts here that I want to use, the Cutlass has these knife feet, which I'm not really too big into, but you do have the feet part from the original Baselard, which is just like a little vent there on the front of the foot. So that's what we're going to use instead. So kind of my goal for this is I want it to look like it's meant for like really high speed assault. So I just want to give it just these regular vent feet, doesn't need the little swords on there, and then just the extra binders here for high speed movement on the shoulders, on this side skirt area part here. But then we need a weapon as well, and I was really on the fence about that. If I want to do like high speed assault, it seems like maybe it could be good for like a melee weapon, like just a quick assault, go in and just like use some melee weapon to take out enemies. But I did want to just stick to a gun. Now the rifle that's included with this is pretty simple, pretty basic. And so not thinking I want to stick with this one. I did have an idea of maybe just adding extending a tube for like a longer barrel out the front of this, just modifying this a little bit, but I think I'll maybe just keep this and modify that maybe for some different kit. What I want to use with this, I want to use this MSG, the Modeling Support Goods Freestyle Gun. Now as you guys, it might be a little bit strange, as you guys are seeing this now, you've already maybe seen the review of this. I'm filming this in a little bit different order. I'm gonna do like a review video for this set separately and then use it here with this kit. So you guys have already seen this actually already built and reviewed, but now this is what I'm gonna actually be using for this kit. So here on the back, you have this part that kind of just plugs onto the back there. I'm just gonna replace that, take that off there, and that's where we're gonna plug the tank onto the back here, and then that'll go around into the hand for just holding the rifle in the hand, so it'll be connected via the hose around there. I think that should work. Hopefully there won't be too much in the way of the binder parts there from the Extend Arms, but let me just get this stuff built up and then we'll try some test fitting, see how it's going to look, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so after much deliberation about how to exactly do this, taking parts off, putting parts back on, again, here is what I've come up with, and I think it's looking pretty cool. So as I said, I bulked up basically just the top half here, and then after putting on the parts on the chest and the head, I was taking those parts on and off and on and off. I couldn't decide. Without those parts on, it definitely doesn't have quite the bulk and like quite the extravagant look to it, but I thought, hey, this is Frame Arms, and like one thing that you do see with a lot of custom Frame Arms is that they're just decked out with tons of stuff on it. So I thought, all right, let's just do it. Let's just do it big and put tons of stuff on this, but still want to keep the legs there as they are. And then also, you'll notice I put the parts that are meant to go on the legs here onto the sides of the arms as shields. I thought those looked pretty cool as shields there on the arms as well, or like extra shields slash alternative booster units there on the arms as well. So those look pretty cool. Let me just show you just so you guys can see also, for example, what it looks like without the chest and head parts on there. Yeah, so there you go. So I think it does look pretty cool like that as well, honestly. And I did put the Baselard part on there for the top of the head. And then the yellow chin piece is part of the Extend Arms set. That's a kind of little bit different shape. It's got like some extra kind of bulk or kind of armor there on the chin piece there as well. So I actually really do like it like this as well. And then without the shields on the arms as well, it has the look of just the 4 boosters on there. And I think that is also a really cool look. But like I said, I thought, you know, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it big, and so we're just gonna put all this stuff on here. But I do still have some stuff left over, just the other set of leg armor, so we'll end up using that for this. I'll just keep that for some other custom build later. And then there was 2 of this kind of thruster unit thing here. This one is supposed to go on the front of the crotch here, and I didn't want to do that, but I was thinking about different ways to use this on like the back of the legs, but then I thought, no, I already set myself, I didn't want to put anything on the back of the legs, but then I realized I could put one here up on the top of the backpack, or just like the back of it here, and it actually fits on there without having to modify anything because there's a little notch there for that. So just here on the back, this one will just fit up onto the top of there like that for just one more little thruster there on the back. Now as far as the tank here, the energy tank, I will have to modify that a little bit. I'll just have to drill a hole down here. If this is 2 male pegs, that's not going to work, so I'm just going to cut off that peg and get rid of that, and then just drill a hole so that this one can drill down into there like that, I'm thinking. Although I was also considering maybe putting this here on the side of the leg like that, which I do think does look pretty cool. I like the asymmetrical look of just having that off to one side like that, just to kind of go with the rifle in hand on that side. So I'm not sure, I'm still considering that. And then just also, as you can see, I did just change out the parts for the feet, just with the regular Baselard vents there for the feet. And so that is pretty much it for just the general construction. Like I said, just basically everything's all set how I think I want this. I just need to decide about that energy tank for the rifle. And then I probably won't use the rubber hose for that. I'll probably just go for some other sort of spring or something, or just wire maybe for that. And so then what I need to work on now is basically some seam line removal on these parts, the shield parts and the new booster parts added on there. They all have seams on there, so just some seam line removal on those parts. A couple of seams on the actual kit need some seam line removal work. And then we're also just going to work on adding some details. So in the next video is going to be another work in progress video before we get to the actual painting, and we'll probably in that video maybe talk a little bit about the painting process as well, choosing some colors for this, because I actually really like the colors that this just is straight out of the box. I think the dark blue Extend Arms parts work really well. It's just like added parts onto the Cutlass color scheme. But we will do a custom color scheme for this, different from what you see here, but it very likely will be something similar in terms of its tone to what you see here like this. So I actually quite like that. But yeah, so in the next video will just be kind of work in progress, getting it, just doing the last kind of preparations of seam line removal on that, and then also just some modifying this with some detail ups. So we got this here that I need to try out. This would be the spin mold tool here from God Hand, and it's really cool. Basically allows you to drill a circular hole, and it's not like a normal drill where it'll be down at a point, but it drills a flat hole. Then you can set a circular piece of photo etch down in there to add a little bit of detail. So we're going to add some detail to this by testing out this tool here, the God Hand spin mold. And so that'll be in the next work in progress video. Stay tuned for that coming up very soon, guys. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this so far. How's it looking? I think it looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with this, pretty excited. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.